Justice Rilwan Aikawa of the Federal High Court sitting in Kaduna State has granted the former governor of the state, Nasir El-Rufai, bail. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, Benin presidential election favorite Romuald Wadagni swept to victory in the country's polls according to provisional results. The Electoral Commission published the preliminary tally overnight from Monday to Tuesday, though it has not yet issued final official results. But Wadagni's ability to conjure economic growth in the face of jihadist attacks gave him a clear lead, even if the 8 million strong electorate showed scant enthusiasm for their candidate, notably in the West African nation cities. Wadagni's opponent earlier conceded defeat even as votes were still being counted. At number 9, the UEFA has dismissed a complaint filed by FC Barcelona regarding a refereeing decision in their UEFA Champions League quarter-final first leg against Atlético de Madrid. The match was played on Wednesday, April 8, 2026, while the protest was formally submitted by Barcelona on April 13, 2026. In an official statement on Tuesday, UEFA confirmed that the matter was reviewed by its disciplinary authorities before being thrown out. The ruling means the complaint will not proceed to any further disciplinary process. UEFA did not provide additional details regarding the specific incident that prompted Barcelona's protest, nor did it indicate any further review of the match official's performance. At number 8, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commissioned the corporate headquarters of the Nigeria Revenue Service in Abuja, marking a significant milestone in the federal government's ongoing reform of the nation's revenue administration framework. The commissioning ceremony drew top government functionaries, including Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barrow, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, and Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu. Others in attendance included the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, members of the Federal Executive Council, and governors under the Nigeria Governors Forum led by its chairman, Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdul Razak. At number 7, the Lagos State government has formally migrated from analog and semi-digital processing of planning permits for property owners in the state. This was disclosed by the Special Advisor to the Governor on EGIS and Urban Development, Dr. Olajide Abiodun. In a press statement, he said, Lagos State has entered dawn of a new era in digital processing of planning permissions, authorizations to commence construction works, stage certification, amongst other services. Under the leadership of Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, we are actively transitioning from legacy manual systems toward a highly efficient, transparent, and scalable digital framework. At number 6, the Nigerian Army has decorated 6 newly promoted senior officers to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel at a ceremony held in Akwa Ibom State. The event concluded at the 2 Brigade Officers Mess Extension Umbio Poro Military Cantonment, was presided over by the Commander 2 Brigade, Brigadier General Enabweze Emmanuel Okolagwo. In his remarks, Brigadier General Okolagwo expressed appreciation at the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waives Shaibu, for approving the promotions. He noted that the elevation was a recognition of the officers' dedication and professionalism. At number 5, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has disclosed that the federal government incurred a subsidy obligation of 418.79 billion naira in the fourth quarter of 2025, even as inefficiencies across the electricity value chain led to losses exceeding 300 billion naira during the period. This was contained in the Commission's 2025 fourth quarter report, which also highlighted declining remittances, high distribution losses, grid instability, and a marginal drop in available generation capacity. According to the report, total invoices issued by generation companies for electricity produced in the quarter amounted to 804.93 billion naira. However, due to non-cost reflective tariffs, the government absorbed 52.30% of the cost. At number 4, the Supreme Court has fixed April 22, 2026 to hear 2 separate appeals filed by the Kabiru Turaki-led group of the People's Democratic Party PDP. The group is seeking to overturn the Court of Appeal's decision invalidating the Ibadan National Convention held on November 15 to 16, 2025. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice Lawal Gaba, granted the Turaki group's application for accelerated hearing and departure from the rules to abridge the time for filing briefs of argument. In the first appeal filed by the Turaki-led group against the PDP group loyal to the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, the court ordered that hearing notices be served on Mohammed Abdulrahman, the 7th respondent, who was not represented when the matter came up on Tuesday. At number 3, the Katsina State Police Command has arrested no fewer than 188 28 suspects linked to various criminal offenses across the state. The police public relations officer, Abubakar Sadiq, disclosed this during a press briefing on Monday at the command headquarters in Katsina, where he presented the command's crime-fighting achievements for March 2026. According to the command, 14 suspects were arrested for armed robbery, 2 for gun running, 1 for cattle rustling, 5 for providing information to bandits, and 14 for culpable homicide. Others include 20 suspected rapists and 22 individuals involved in illegal drug peddling. At number 2, the federal government has granted a waiver on import duties for mass transit buses, electric vehicles, and manufacturing machinery. The development followed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's directive to key economic officials to design measures to cushion the impact of the ongoing Middle East crisis on Nigerians, particularly amid rising fuel prices. A disclosure contained in an ex-post on Monday by Dada Olusegun, special assistant to the president on social media, noted that the move is part of new fiscal measures aimed at easing economic pressure on Nigerians and curbing inflationary pressures. At number 1, Justice Rilwan Aikawa of the Federal High Court sitting in Kaduna State has granted the former governor of the state, El-Rufai, bail. He is being charged for alleged financial misconduct, including deposits into his domiciliary account and how his earnings were handled by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC). However, El-Rufai's bail application was stalled at the Kaduna State High Court as the presiding judge, Justice Darius Kobo, has reserved ruling on the bail application to April 21st, 2026. The former governor is being arraigned before the State High Court on multiple charges bordering on alleged fraud and abuse of office leveled against him by the ICPC. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.